Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the Pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate. It is a first down. Pirates. Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. When you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into TSO Wednesday Night as we're here getting ready for the bowl game. About 10 days away, if that. Welcome in, Kyle from LaGrange Barber. How are you, man?
What's going on, dude? Sitting here tonight watching a bowl game or watching the, I don't know what it's called now. It's the Mobile Bowl, GMAC Bowl we played in years ago. Watching Delaware take on Louisiana. So South Florida lost early to Old Dominion, a depleted South Florida team. And we'll do a brief show tonight, not go as long as normal, and talk about our, not official, but according to Pete Thermal of ESPN, or Pete Thamel.
I think the same thing every time I see his name. That's funny that you said that.
According to Pete Thamel, we have signed a 2-year contract with Jordan Davis, North Texas offensive coordinator, to be our new offensive coordinator. So that's primarily what we're going to focus on tonight. And I think it's a good hire. I think the only question is, he hasn't called plays, but the same could be said for John David Baker and really Lincoln Riley. Lincoln, the only time he called plays was in the bowl game, where Ruffin was interim head coach. So great offense. It's going to be, I think, it's going to look more similar to the old air raid than what we've been running. Gerald, what are your thoughts on the apparent hire?
Well, I was telling Dave earlier, I'm happy. I mean, I'm thrilled to have him. It was, the finalists that were listed, I was telling Dave that Philip Montgomery, I always admired him as a coach. I always thought he conducted his team well, and he was just a good strategist and a good coach. But I just didn't want him as our offensive coordinator, and I didn't want it getting down to him. So, I mean, this avoids that. Plus, he's, we got a young guy. I think he's 33. I like that too. I think he's happy to be here, and I don't think he's looking to, just be here for a year or two and move on. But my concern is not that he hasn't called plays. I get that. And I'm not even really concerned. I'm just curious about who our quarterback coach is going to be. He's never been a quarterback coach. He's always been a wide receivers coach. Are we going to hire a quarterback coach and he's going to continue to be a wide receivers coach? And if that happens, I guess, Darrell Roberts wouldn't be around. But as far as a quarterback coach, Kyle or Dave, what do y'all think? What direction do you think we're going to go? We're going to try to make him do it?
Well, I believe, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I believe his head coach Morris was also a wide receiver. I don't think he was a quarterback. Am I wrong on that? Somebody look that up, JR. So he started coaching quarterbacks. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll take over quarterback coaching duties. North Texas had a quarterbacks coach. Morris didn't coach the quarterbacks officially either. He had a quarterbacks coach. So I don't know if that's the plan to bring a quarterback coach over. I don't know. The quarterbacks coach for North Texas, the last I heard, hadn't been hired by Oklahoma State. I don't know if that's coming, but maybe he could come with him. That would be great. But I really don't understand. My only thought with Morris not going with Davis not going with Morris to Oklahoma State was maybe it was he knew if he wanted to ever become a head coach down the road, he was going to need to go out and call his own plays. Which the kind of what John David Baker was in title. People forget tight ends coach and co-offensive coordinator at Ole Miss, but didn't call the plays. And now he went and came here as OC and then got the Power 4 job back at Ole Miss. So was that why he didn't follow him to Oklahoma State? They were together in Incarnate Word, him and Morris. He had the title of assistant head coach and wide receivers coach at Incarnate Word. And then he went to Washington State and was an offensive analyst. And then when Morris got the head coach job in North Texas, he brought him in as his OC and receivers coach. So I don't know. It's a good question if he's going to have a quarterbacks coach or not. Something we'll probably find out rather soon, I would think. I'm sure somebody's going to ask him as soon as they have a chance, or ask And then
I just feel like offensive coaches like him and that Morris, they could do whatever they want to do. I mean, I would have complete confidence if he were to announce, "Hey, I'm going to be the quarterbacks coach." I would feel comfortable because there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, he's worked with quarterbacks a lot. Going back to
it's interesting though that North Texas had a quarterbacks coach. So does he follow that? Does he do everything like Morris, or does he want to coach his own quarterbacks? I don't know. That is a really good question. His other influence, I believe, when he played at Texas Tech, didn't he? Under Kingsbury. So his other influence was he a GA at Texas Tech?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he played
he
at
learned under him.
Smaller Texas University.
Okay, so he GA'd under Kingsbury. So, I mean, those are his mentors, Kingsbury and Moore. Joe, what do you think in general, and Dave, of this offense? I mean, you describe it to, compare it to Lincoln Riley's air raid and what we're running now.
I mean, I don't really know, Kyle, to be honest with you. If I prefer it or, I just was I loved the way that we were equally running and passing the ball. At first I was like with JDB, I was mad that we weren't passing more. But then, once he got his system in place, I loved the diversity that we were pretty much 50-50 running and passing. I mean, they pass it way more. But I'm ready for that too. I'm ready for that. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see more passing. I think we're going to still see up tempo, which, is always fun to watch.
Oh yeah. They were also one of the fastest offenses in the country too.
Yeah. So that's not going to change. So I'm looking forward to it, to be honest with you. It's going to be a little different, but I think it's going to be very exciting. We're still going to be able to put defenses, in jeopardy, going quick and not letting them substitute for, certain situations. Because I like that advantage when we, that's what we have now. And I think we're going to have it even more with this offense. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy. Like I said, I couldn't be happier that we have Jordan Davis.
Yeah, no, it's a good hire. Like I said, that's the only question mark on him is having called plays. And like you said, the question of will he coach quarterbacks or are we going to have a quarterbacks coach?
Yeah, guys, I like the fact that one of the things I was going to add is I like the fact that it's not the same offense, but it's similar enough to the talent that we have and not trying to start over. And I think it was Kyle or Matt that was talking about the other night that players are not stupid. They know the kind of offense that people are running. And so it's not like, I think Johnny and I were talking about, it's not like it's a pro style offense and we're trying to run that, but we'll have personnel that really doesn't fit that, or that we don't have really the skill sets for that. So for me, I feel like that we're in much better shape than we could be like for next year. And I'm interested to see, one of the things I want to ask you guys tonight is your thoughts about, I know it could be a number of different quarterbacks, but what quarterbacks do you like that are out there right now?
Well, I'm not good with names, but the Western Carolina quarterback put up a hell of a lot of big numbers this past year.
The kid from Western Carolina. Yeah. I just think he'll be more available than the kid from Western Carolina. I think, I think he's going to get paid pretty well, and he's probably going to go to the Power Four, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you got some lag there, JR. The Western Carolina quarterback is somebody we need to look at, but I do think, like JR just said, he'll likely get Power Four offers. But you never know. It could be a situation where he gets Power Four offers, but it's not guaranteed a starting job. Would we guarantee him the starting position, or at least all but guarantee it? Then you look at the Mercer quarterback. He's somebody else that's out there. I would imagine the plan for him right now is he's going to go to Toledo, but we can offer him more money than Toledo. Also, as Bubba pointed out today, he's from North Carolina, so we're a lot closer to home than Toledo, Ohio. And the reason I say Toledo is that's where his head coach went, and I believe his OC maybe has followed in there at this point. So that Mercer quarterback could be a real possibility. Another kid that I think is interesting, if we don't get top targets, then I think we'll bring in a couple guys. One guy I would bring in, not name him, not with planning on handing him the keys. This is in a situation where if we're going to bring in a couple of guys that are going to have to compete, and I think we may bring in a couple of guys anyway. But the UTEP quarterback, he is a senior. He put up decent numbers in limited starts this year. I don't know how many games he started. I think seven or eight out of the 12. He put up decent numbers. He's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. Before that,
6-7.
Before that, he started at Austin P. But he that's a bad football team, but it's a similar system. So he would have familiarity with a similar offense. So he's a kid that I would look at. I don't think it's somebody that you bring in that you think is going to be the starter. He's somebody that you bring in thinking he's going to be a backup or to compete for the starting job, to push who you think is going to be the starter. You never know. He could end up being the starter, because sometimes a kid like that who's played a similar offense catches on faster and with better talent around him could excel.
Yeah. Hey, I mentioned that they like to pass, but they did. Caleb Williams had 23 touchdowns, and they led the nation in actually rushing touchdowns with 44, because it was a really weird combination. You just never see that. You never see a team they were second to FAU in passing, and they were first in rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's a very weird combination. They're very good in the red zone because of that running game. So, hopefully, I think we have the running backs to execute that kind of an offense. So hopefully we can keep that up, and that could work out really well for us.
Yeah, no doubt. I would assume they rotate receivers quite a bit in this offense. I don't know that for a fact, but I would assume it. So it's something we're going to need to work on in the transfer portal is quality wide receiver depth. I mean, we have wide receivers on the football team, but we need some standout guys. Although I don't think this offense will be predicated on having, one like main deep threat guy as much as the John David Baker offense. All right, guys. So y'all just talk away.
No, I'm lagging. I don't know what's going on.
No, sorry. I was Alexander was talking to me, and I couldn't. I
was just going to follow up Kyle's point, but I wasn't. My internet was acting funny. I was just going to say, Kyle, about spreading the ball around on offense. They absolutely do that. I think I want to say they had 6 different receivers with 30 catches, and they were deep. They were very deep as far as receivers, and the running backs caught some passes. So yeah, I like the whole concept of how they do that with running, passing. It's
Well, I
It's
think
something
hitting
to look
ground
forward
running,
to.
that's going to be key.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, Kyle. Is anybody even hearing what I'm saying? I'm really like I'm hearing myself after I start talking, which makes me want to stop. But I don't know if anyone else is even hearing what I'm saying. Did that even go through what I just said?
Yeah, stop talking and I'll tell you. You sound good. But
Okay.
yeah, I do think you're having lag on and off. I think sometimes you're in perfect time, and then other times you're several seconds
Yeah,
behind.
it's messing me up. So I'm gonna bail out and then and sign back in and see if that helps.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
So JR will return,
Yes.
and
Well, the
he's
real
going to leave
JR.
first. Well, maybe he has left and just it didn't register, and we'll have two JRs briefly.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle, I was going to say when you were talking about the wide receivers are we should be able to pick up. What do you think? 2 or 3
Wide
that we need?
receivers, who knows?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, 2 or 3. Maybe even more than that. This kind of offense, you could probably take bigger risk on guys, take multiple guys that can be productive rather than with what JDB was running. That was the one thing about it is you had to have 2 really good primary receivers on the outside. In this offense, you're gonna spread the ball around a lot more. So you could take more receivers. Actually, you can gamble more. Is what I'm trying to say. I think you could.
I can't
You
hear
could
you, Kyle,
take.
for some reason. Oh,
I don't know if anybody else can.
I can hear you, Kyle.
Okay. Can you hear JR, Dave? Well, you can't hear me. Ask him, can he hear you, JR?
Can you hear me, Dave? Oh boy! And the good news is I don't hear myself twice, so my situation's improved. We got to get Dave on board now.
yeah, I can hear you, Johnny. I just can't hear Kyle.
All right, I'm going to leave and come back. This is a nightmare. I'm
It
sorry,
is.
everyone
Yeah, I
watching
apologize.
this train wreck.
Okay, Kyle's gonna. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if Kyle's having the same issues I was, but when I was talking, I would hear what I was saying like a second later, so I
Oh
couldn't
man,
really.
it's tough.
Yeah, it made me. So hopefully, I'm good now because I'm not getting any feedback or anything. I can think about what I'm saying. So hopefully, Kyle will be good when he comes back on here. Hey, can I talk about the basketball for a bit? They won again tonight. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
Kyle's
the
back. We'll do that
basketball
later.
discussion is over.
Hey, Kyle.
Can you hear me, Dave? All right, JR, tell
I
Dave
can
to
hear
leave.
you.
Tell
Hey,
JR to leave.
Dave.
Yeah, you have a sign out.
Kyle is speaking. I can hear him. You can. I guess you can't.
I can't.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Tell him to leave and sign
Yeah,
out.
I guess I can sign out and then come
Yeah.
back myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. All right, I'll be right back.
This is the best show
I've
we've ever
never.
done. This is
This is
horrible.
just odd.
Yeah, so
All three of
listeners,
us have separate. If I was listening, I might have bailed out already. I mean, this is frustrating for us, but
yeah, well, I think we've hit all the points we needed to hit anyway about the coach and all that. And unless anybody's got any questions about it, but let's talk about the team we have now. Blake Harrell had a press conference or had an interview with Igo and talked about from Hoist the Colors, talked about how he was going to um, use 2 quarterbacks most likely in the bowl game. Talked about how really the only advantage we have at this point is that they do have to prepare for everything. They have to prepare for 2 different quarterbacks. He said we need to really be creative. Imply that we're going to be creative, kind of open up the playbook, do some things we haven't done, let it all kind of hang out because we don't have anything to lose. Said the running backs coach JR would be calling plays. What's his name? I'm sorry.
Rodney Freeman.
Yeah, Rodney Freeman, who has been an OC at a couple of high schools and was the offensive coordinator for a spring at College of the Mines, a Division II school. People have probably heard of because of the interesting name and remember it. But I think he moved back up to a Division I job as a positions coach before the fall. He never called actual plays, but so does have some offensive coordinator experience at the high school level and like I said, for spring at a D2 school. Him and our O-line coach,
Matt Maddox.
Maddox, yes, of course, who was OC at UTSA for a year. They're going to be co-OCs basically in the game planning role, but Rodney will have final say on play calls on game day. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what we run. I expect to see a lot of interesting stuff with Mike Wright, the freshman quarterback. You'll see him some, probably come in and run our traditional stuff. This will be interesting. I'll say this, we'll have a bigger bowl preview along with our Christmas special Sunday night when we promise it'll be a better show. But I think if we were to find a way to win this game, which I think is highly unlikely, I truly believe because of the circumstances, it would be one of the greatest wins in ECU history, just because of the circumstances. I think you look at a team in Pitt that at times was a fringe top 25 team. They came real close to playing in the ACC championship game. Have nobody at this point sitting out. None of their players have opted out of the bowl, have all their coaches and what we're dealing with. If we were to find a way to win this game, I think it would be one of the greatest wins of all time.
Absolutely. And I want to be there to see it when it happens. As far as Pitt goes, they're, in our offense matching up against their defense, they're really good at run defense. And so are we. But, I almost feel like you have to throw our offensive stats in the trash can because they really don't mean anything at this point because we don't have the personnel that that accumulated those stats. So I'm just going to concentrate on Pitt's defense, and they have given up some big plays in the air. So I feel like we have a big advantage, like you said, where they have to prepare for. They don't exactly know what they're preparing for, but Mike Wright is going to show them different looks. But Chaston Ditta, I think he's only 18 still. I don't even know that he's turned 19 yet. But he does have a strong arm, and he's been in games before. He's been in practices. I know he can throw the ball deep. Maybe we can get, a couple of big plays deep from him, and then mix that in with Mike Wright. Throwing him off kilter with whatever he's gonna end up doing, and just maybe we get a big play on defense, and we can keep this thing close, and who knows what can happen.
Dave, if you can hear me. And if Dave can't hear me, Jared, you repeat this to Dave. Dave, can you hear me?
All right, go ahead, Kyle.
All right, he's gone. Anyway, so we'll just talk about it. Dave, can you hear me?
I can.
There you go.
Wow.
So, Dave, can you see B. Pace's comment being you just got here about Jordan Davis and Ditta?
Yes.
Put that on the screen. So Jordan Davis recruited Ditta, the Pittsburgh quarterback who was phenomenal this year as a freshman, to North Texas apparently, and offered him. So
Ditta's from Texas.
So I think that shows you how good of a, I don't know how highly recruited Ditta was if everybody was offering him. I don't know. Maybe that ain't that impressive of a thing if everybody else was doing it too. But, it shows he can evaluate quarterback talent, at least you would think.
Yeah. From what I've heard, Ditta is capable of, converting on some plays and making this thing interesting. If he, can get some open receivers, I think he can get the ball to him. I'm worried about Pitt's pass rush as well, but
Ditta's God, Jesus Christ. Ditta's not Pitt's quarterback, is he?
No, Ditta's our quarterback.
Yeah, that's why I shouldn't do the show when I've been drinking. That's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, he's from Texas.
When I've had multiple shots of Jim Beam.
They have two quarterbacks that are very capable. So even if one were to opt out or not play.
In my brain, I was talking about the Pitt quarterback. I'm sorry, guys.
You're all right, Kyle. You're all right. Hey, you're making me feel better about my first 10-minute performance.
I think I've been pretty good. Nobody would have been able to tell I've been drinking.
Yeah, you were outstanding.
Yeah, then boom, it's just like my brain went away.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. Interesting show, though, to say the least. But yeah, Chaskin has a big arm, and I'm looking forward to going there and just see, like you said, Kyle, how are we going to attack this? I have confidence that Rodney Freeman and Matt Maddox, they're football guys, they're offensive guys. They know what they're doing. I have faith in them that they could call a bowl game and get favorable results for us. So I'm not worried about that. It's just that we're undermanned.
Exactly. I mean, if this was Georgia Southern in the Birmingham Bowl, then I would still feel I would still feel worried, but I would feel better about things. This is a really good Pitt school. I mean, if we win this game, if Mike Wright has some impressive performance, we find a way to gimmick our way into upsetting Pitt. You make a damn movie about this. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kyle.
Write the script right now, Kyle.
Yep. I was just going to follow up what you were saying, Kyle, by saying that the big difference, if both of these teams had full rosters, the big advantage that Pitt would have over us is depth.
Yeah.
So you take that advantage of depth that they had already, and then you add all the people that we're losing that are opting out, and it just makes things difficult. But I'm not trying to make anybody feel hopeless or, I still think we can find a way to get this done. And like you said, Kyle, then comes the movie, and it'll be a part of Pirate lore forever.
Yeah. It'd be like that time Bobby Boucher came back in the second half and helped the Mud Dogs win the Bourbon Bowl.
The Water Boy. Water Boy 2.
Yes,
Electric Boogaloo.
I knew you were going to say that. Wow. I knew you were going to say that, Kyle.
That's because I always say that after.
I'm curious for anybody that's listening out there.
Why are you still listening?
No, not that. I just want to know who everybody, because we're coming up on Friday. We got Alabama and Oklahoma, and then the other 3 games on Saturday. So I'm curious who people are picking as their 2 finalists in this CFP. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. I'm going to go with Texas Tech and Georgia. And the Big Ten is going to get shut out. But we'll see. Anything could happen. There's going to be some great games.
Tulane and Indiana. I don't even know what the brackets looks like. Is that even possible?
No. I don't even know yet. I need to look at it closer. This has been like one of those weeks. The kids have a lot going on, and then obviously at work and everything, and we have a show to do. So it's been busy, but I tell you one thing, I do like the Indiana story. I think that's great. And Kurt Signetti was like my how strange things are when, like when I thought, I'll never forget Kyle and I were talking, and we were going, oh my God, Houston's going to Charlotte. And so then I said, well, I hope we can get Signetti. And he and I were talking. I'm like, oh my, can't believe.
So you wanted Signetti?
No, well, I wanted Houston. No. We wanted Houston.
I don't remember wanting Signetti as our backup. That wasn't our second choice.
No, that's me.
I don't remember that.
What?
Yeah.
You mean, okay, not when he was at Madison then, because
he was at Elon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you had a good eye if you identified him when he was at Elon.
I knew he was a good coach at Elon, but he wasn't somebody I had as a finalist at the time. But my God, had we hired him, I mean, just look at what he did at JMU. Think of what he has done here.
Yeah, he had done a good job at. The reason being is my thinking was that he would have the state of North Carolina. He had done a good job at Elon, and at the time when he was one of those guys that I was like, he could come in here, and I had no. I mean, I'm not trying to say I knew that he knew. I'm not trying to say I knew that he would what he's done at Madison and Indiana.
We're gonna have to consult Bubba and see if he remembers this because I don't remember this.
Yeah, he was definitely in my top 5. But anyway, we'll move.
I'm gonna have to get the time machine and go back to 2018 and see. I remember my I had a few, but one that I at the time, and it looked like I was right on him, and now I'm not sure. But I talked about the Jesus Christ, Shane Beamer was
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
that I had as, I thought at the time he was special teams coordinator down in Oklahoma. I thought he could come in, that name recognition, create some excitement.
He's
I
a good
thought he could.
recruiter,
I thought
too.
he could make things right with Ruffin, and all that, which was important at that time. And Shane did a nice job in South Carolina up until the last 2 years. So
Yeah, well, anyway, the most important thing is we've got a really good coach, and I believe in Blake Harrell, and I like our chances next year. I really do, and I think that we're going to do a good job. I'm interested to see. Have you guys see? Are you talking about Pete Limbo?
there was a time when I loved Pete Limbo. Pays that would have been more during the time where we hired Ruff. That would have been more during that time, not when we were hiring Houston. So yeah, but there was definitely a time when I loved Pete Limbo, and Pete Limbo is a good coach. He's proven that he got another head coaching opportunity at Buffalo and has done a pretty good job there in his 2 seasons, and did a good job at Ball State and up for a while. It kind of fell apart, but yeah, Limbo's a good coach.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that about a head coach. But also, have you guys heard anything? I think Johnny said he hadn't earlier. Have you heard anything, Kyle, about defensive coordinators?
No, not yet. The only thing that I've heard was the talk of letting
Tesh?
Tesh, thank you, Roy Tesh, run the D line or run the D line. He runs the D line. Letting Roy Tesh be the permanent defensive coordinator. Obviously, he'll get his opportunity in the bowl game. But Blake will be calling those plays primarily. I don't know. Maybe let Roy have some freedom calling the plays to give him kind of a test to see how he could do it as defensive coordinator. To me, if it was going to be Roy Tesh, you'd already made that decision. Unless the bowl game is literally going to be the test. Is that the test? Otherwise, yeah, I think it's going to be somebody else, but I don't know who.
I mean, in other words, so what you're saying is that you would have already Blake.
Yeah, if that's going to be my
Well,
DC, he's here now. What are you waiting on? You just
Right.
go ahead and make that official. Roy's my defensive coordinator. But so I think the bowl game is probably going to be a test. Is really what I think. I know Blake said he was going to have final say on the play calls on defense, but I don't. Unless Roy is legitimately not a candidate, then I can't imagine that he's not going to be tested at the bowl game. Otherwise, you would have just named him DC already. Jared, do you agree on that?
I absolutely do, Kyle. But, I thought we talked about that, Dave, earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. That's my opinion as well. Well, hopefully this bowl game will show that he's worthy, and he sticks around.
Drew is asking, wasn't Ruff? Yes, he was a defensive coach.
No, Ruffin is not really in the physical condition. I don't think to be a defensive coordinator these days. I was hoping that Dave Boring would retire, and maybe we could bring Ruff back and I'm not trying to take Coach. I'm not trying to take Shank out of a job. Thank you. But something like Shank does, that would be really good for Ruff. I think he'd probably be really good at that job, as a matter of fact. But unfortunately, Dave Doran didn't retire, so I guess Ruff will remain on his staff as what is his title there? Is he a defensive analyst?
Special assistant to the coach, or some kind of. That's not the exact title, but it's something like that. I think.
That sounds like a Dwight Schrute title.
Yeah, let's see.
For people that watch The Office, they'll get that reference.
Drew says new offensive coordinator must keep Roberts at wide receivers coach.
Unless he's going to be the wide receivers coach, which
Roberts has been a good recruiter, right? Off the top of my head.
Go ahead, Kyle. No, I was just going to say they're all good recruiters. On the defensive side, unfortunately, we've already lost probably the best recruiter on defense. But Rico Zachary He's pretty good too. And then on offense, Matt Maddox is the guy. But Darrell Roberts and Rodney Freeman, everybody has had a nice pickup here or there. So
Okay.
I think people just have to pick up the slack. I mean, maybe the other guys are better recruiters because they have the opportunities, and now someone else is going to have the opportunity, and they'll be just as effective. I mean, that's certainly a possibility.
Does this offense utilize tight ends a lot? Or remember when Lincoln was here, we had two receivers coach. We had outside receivers coach, inside receivers coach. We didn't have a true tight ends coach. Do you know about this offense? Do they have multiple receivers coaches and a tight ends coach, or they have two receivers coaches?
Yeah, that I don't know for sure.
I have not heard that. Here's an interesting point that Will brings up, guys. One thing that gets lost in coaches changes, opt-outs, and transfers is all the seniors. Most of them whom will be playing their last game ever. I expect a great effort from that group. That's my the reason I brought this up on the screen. Guys, that is my one hope. That is one hope. And throwing a Mike Wright miracle is the seniors. Is it 28 seniors off the top of my head? Is that right?
I've heard 28, and then I heard Steve and Igo say 30. So
okay.
Maybe there were two that I didn't account for. That's possible, but it's a good number. 28, 30. They're both, that's a lot.
Yeah. So my point is that, in other words, those guys obviously can't play anymore, or more than likely. So those guys are going to put out. This is potentially their last football game ever. Unless they go to the Canadian Football League or something like that, or maybe some may get a tryout in the NFL. But for me, when you always
The Rock says, "Know your UFL."
So for me, I'm going, hey, this might be one of those games where you leave it all out on the field. You hear all those cliches, play like it's your last game. Well, guess what? This is your last game, so play like it's your last game, and you never know. Especially the one hope I have also is that, man, Blake Harrell has done a tremendous job with these guys as far as being a player's coach. He really gets these guys. I know you have to have all the talent. I get all that, but I'm just waiting to see how that. Let's see. And Pays is talking about how they've limited all the film on Wright and data. I think that's an advantage for ECU. Spalding and Anthony Williams will have to have big play days. Riles, wondering if Riles will play. He's already opted out, right? Or not?
No, not yet.
No, but Javante Connor opted out. But Riles was rumored to. But the later we get, the closer we get to this game, the better I feel that maybe Riles is going to play. And, that brings up Hunter McKay. He's in year 2. And I don't think, Kyle, am I wrong here? Could we have expected a better job out of the tight ends than what he's doing? I mean, I thought those two guys were, the two, as far as tandem tight ends in one season, they're pretty darn good. I guess we had Ryan Jones in Calhoun one year. That was a pretty good tandem as well. But these two are pretty good.
Yeah, one of my big hopes, or not my big hopes. How can I word this correctly? One of the things that gives me some hope is something we haven't brought up. Is Pitt wasn't very excited about playing East Carolina in this bowl game to begin with. And now, are they just going to be going to having fun in D.C., not taking us serious, thinking this is, we don't have our quarterback. This is going to be a cakewalk. And hell, it might be a cakewalk for them. But I do think them boys on defense are going to come to play. And I do think they're going to put get some heat on that quarterback. And if Pitt's not mentally prepared on offense and we could, get some turnovers early, you never know what could happen in that kind of situation. That's kind of my hope is that's what will happen. Watch, my ass won't go, then we'll pull off the upset.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. By the way, Kyle, I forgot to even mention to you guys, but I think JR knows, but we even have a player in Preston Carr that watches our show. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There's a lot of guys on our football team that are not going to just roll over because we've had guys opt out and guys are transferring.
No, I don't expect that defense to. And Preston, if you're watching, man, appreciate you. You got there and bust your ass every single time you're on the field, and I believe the defense, will play their asses off. I believe the offense will play their asses off. We're just undermanned on offense. Now on defense, hey, look, it looks like we're 100%. Like nobody's opted out. We don't have our defensive coordinator, but I believe in Black Arrow to call these defensive plays, and I believe we can get after it on defense. And defense is going to have to carry the team. I mean, the defense is going to have to carry the team. Pitt's got a really good offense, but I'm telling you, if Pitt ain't locked in, and this defense is, we could make things interesting.
Yeah, and that's why you have to play the game. And I'm hoping a lot of people will still go to the game and still give these. Look, we were just talking about the seniors. These seniors deserve us to be there rooting for them. And last year, I believe, and maybe that's me being fanboy for a minute, but I believe the fans made a huge difference in that state game last year.
Oh, they did. There was an atmosphere in Annapolis last year, and it felt good Friday night, but just there was something about that Saturday afternoon on the streets of Annapolis. Just there was a vibe in the air, and the marching band. I didn't even know the parade was going on at that time. When we step out of Chicken Roof's, deli, and the parade's going by, and there was just a complete vibe, and I could feel it. And I told Jessica, my wife, when I was going into the stadium, I said I could feel it. I said I can just feel it in the air. I think we're going to pull the upset. I think we're going to beat NC State. And I don't know, JR, did you get that same feeling?
Kyle, I actually during the Pirate Radio pregame show, I actually posted that comment that I'm telling you, fellas, I can feel it. There's good karma going on in Annapolis there, and there's just I called it an energy, not really a vibe.
Yes,
I just said I just feel
energy,
positive energy, and I felt it. I did, and
yes, you could feel it in that stadium. There was at times to me in that stadium that night a euphoric feeling, and I don't. It was just there was a nostalgic feeling there. Even though I had never been to that stadium before, there was something very nostalgic about that whole night being in that stadium. I don't know if you felt the nostalgia also or not.
I know that this will be the third time that we've won the Military Bowl because Boston College knew that they were going to get a butt speed, and we won that that game, and then having the NC State game. So this will be the third straight. So I'm looking forward to it. I tell you what, I know our players are not going to back down, and you know what? If Pitt goes up there and comes down to Annapolis and kicks our butt, they do. But I just I think the best thing that could have happened to us is thankfully the coordinators left when they did and not leaving like now or next week. I know they probably wouldn't, but that's when I would be really concerned. But I
wish John David Baker would have stayed and coached the bowl game. I don't know. I'm sure that was his decision. I can't imagine Blake saying we'll leave now. But I really wish he would have stayed and coached the bowl game, and I wish Hauser would have played in it. But it is what it is. I
don't think there was any hurry whatsoever for JDB to get to Oxford. I mean, they don't, they don't really need him right now. Maybe he's doing something with recruiting. I'm sure. Maybe I don't know.
Do you think Blake told him not to?
I think it's possible, just because he didn't want him having access to maybe players that he might try to convert.
But I think that's pointless because he could do that anyway. So you're.
Well, other teams, Kyle, other teams in the same situation are letting the coordinators coach. So maybe it wasn't Blake's call whatsoever. I was just trying to figure out what JDB's hurry was. Unless maybe, how about this? Do you think there's any bad blood at all? I mean, I would hope not, or actually it wouldn't even matter at this point.
I don't know. I don't know why there would be.
it's in this business. It's I don't know why there would be either, because it's
seems
a
like he did
business.
things the right way.
Yeah,
Whereas Aldridge, I definitely think Blake probably should get your ass to Tampa. Maybe I'm wrong, but that would be my hunch, because that I don't think was.
appreciated.
JDB seemed to be pretty transparent during this whole situation, so I think it was that is I don't know, I haven't gone to listen to that Igo interview with Blake. You saw the comments, but I don't know if that's something that Blake was asked. Maybe I'll tweet it, Blake. I don't know that he'll answer the question, but maybe watch Sports Objective, watch Blake Harrell's account. I may tweet at him and ask him that question. Was it your decision or JDB's decision not to coach in the bowl game?
Josh, the answer to that question, so does a new OC coach in the bowl game? No, he is actually coaching in the North Texas bowl game. I think it's the same day. So, no, the answer to that is he will not
no,
Wouldn't be very useful either.
The North Texas bowl game is this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the 20th. So,
okay.
Yeah, and there's just not enough time for him to be effective.
No,
there'd be no way that he could help.
Right. I think he would be more of a distraction. I think he'd be more of a distraction than.
Well, it's a different offense. He can't install his offense between.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so no, he'll probably be there, just like Aldridge was at the Military Bowl, if I remember right. So he'll probably be there watching the game, observing talent, cheering them on. But no, he will not be part of the game plan.
We enjoyed the game last year and hope we win this year. Just walk into the stadium and turn me on. Wink, wink.
Yeah. I get it, because the good memories.
Yep.
Maybe Ole Miss wants JDB there to keep Charlie Wise from stealing their players.
Now, again, I say it's pointless, but I don't know. I don't know. Is JDB helping them coach the bowl game? Now, that's a possibility. That is the same offense. So, Charlie Weiss is there as the OC, but is JDB going in there? Are they having him work beside him? Is he, that's a good question. Is he going to be on the sidelines or in the booth, helping coach this bowl game? I didn't even think about that. That may be what it is. He knows this offense, this same offense. They could be using him not as OC, but to at least help out.
An advisor.
Yeah. Yep.
Or analyst, offensive analyst.
An analyst and advisor, yes.
Yeah, Pace says heard Harold told JDB to go ahead and leave. I heard the same thing, Pace.
Well, there must have been some heat there. I don't really agree with that decision. There must have been some. I don't know. I don't have the brain operation of Blake Harrell's. I don't know. What his thoughts were behind that.
Let's see.
Not what I would have done.
He was
from the outside
saying, we are
looking
moving forward with those who are on the ship.
I like that quote, though.
Yeah.
I like that quote.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like JR says, I agree. There's some. We have talent on our team, and it's easy to see where they may not be on the first string, but maybe you say to a guy, hey, come to Ole Miss and you'll definitely be on the second string, and maybe you can fight to be on the first string. I don't know, but for me, I know Igo is
culture thing. I think in this day and age, establishing a culture and having a culture like that in college football is really hard to do. But that may be a culture thing for him.
Yeah. Plus, you know what? Let's look at the roster, Kyle. I'm not being anti-East Carolina whatsoever, but Ole Miss is a top 5 team. How many players on our roster would they be interested in? I know Javante Connor came from there, so I was worried that he might go back there, and he probably will end up there. He's leaving. But other than that, I don't know that. I just don't know who he would try to take with him. So, and I don't even feel comfortable commenting on that situation at this point, because I just wouldn't. I don't want to say something that would paint the wrong picture of the situation between Blake and JDB, because I just don't know enough of the details. So I think I will opt out of that conversation.
I did have something I want to ask you guys, and I'm waiting to. I guess maybe this is the moment. Kenny Curling says, "If you're not a pirate, you're not a pirate." And what did you guys think about Hauser's? I guess what is that? The graphic where he officially announced he's in the portal, and he said he's always going to be a pirate. And I was like, maybe I have the wrong attitude, but I was like, look,
Nope.
dude, you chose to leave us. You're not a pirate anymore. I'm
Nope.
sorry. Maybe that's bitter. I'm being bitter
No.
on my part, but that's just the way I feel. I want to get y'all's take on that in the audience, but I really was upset about that. I said I'll just wait to say something on the show. But you're not a pirate. If you wanted to be a pirate, you would have stayed with us. You have one more year. You have a chance to you turned down $1.5 million. Okay.
1.2, but whatever it was, 1.2 to 1.5.
Yeah, whatever.
It ain't like we were offering him peanuts.
You got more than a free house, okay? And I think it was $100,000 in a free house. And to me, I'll take that. Well, I have a nice house, but and so do you guys. But I was really upset about that.
He's not going to be a pirate always. Just no.
You're not in what I mean. Let me ask you this, okay? If you take JDB and think about this, and it's not JDB, I'm sorry, with Hauser. Let's say that he wins an American championship. Hypothetically, I know we have to get there.
Hauser?
I'm talking about if he had stayed.
Okay.
Because he's talking about always a pirate. So my always a pirate scenario would be fighting for a conference championship, in the conference championship, winning it, and you go to the playoff. Okay, let's say we have a magical year. Then that dude coming back and potentially an ECU Hall of Fame.
He's a legend. Yeah, he would be a legend.
But he leaves us with that chance. So to me, it's like, dude, you can't be a pirate, and you can't be dancing around. You're on your third. You're going to be on your third school. Please tell me how you're being loyal on your third school. I'm sorry. If things didn't work out at Michigan State and you stay with us 3 years, then I can buy that. But when you're on your third school, you can't say you're a pirate. I'm sorry.
If he was going to be a pirate, then he would be a pirate. My thoughts on it are this. I understand, the lure of more money, but how much more are you going to get? I don't think he's a $4 million guy. We're offering 1.2 to 1.5. Let's say he gets 2 to 2.5. Okay, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm not saying another $500,000 isn't a lot of money, because it is. But, you were going to get paid here 1.2 to 1.5. So you were going to be a millionaire. You had people here that loved you. You had a chance to go out as a legend. You had a chance to have a place to call home for forever that you could come back to. Something money can't buy. And I know, I'm going to tell you, this is something from somebody, and, I don't even know if I want to go here, but for somebody who's battled things and other people have battled things too, you come to realize time is more important than money, and family is more important than money, and having a place to call home is more important than money. And, you could have stayed here, and this place would have been your home forever. You would have been welcome back. Look at Shane Carden. Look at David Garrard. This would have been your home for forever. So no, you're not forever a pirate. I'm thankful for what you did while you were here, but I don't care what you do the rest of your career. I wish you no ill will. I don't hope you get hurt. I don't hope you go 0-12. I just don't care what you do. You're no longer a pirate. Look, here's what I'd say to you. If he hears this, I'm sure they'd welcome you back. You can change your mind. I'm not begging you to, and nobody else is either. But you can change your mind right now. You can go, you know what? I'm in the portal. I want to be a pirate. I'm forever a pirate. You know what? I am forever a freaking pirate. Is that offer still on the table, Coach? But he ain't going to do that. That would be too good of a story. That would be a story. Now, that would be a friggin' story. Going on from here and going to play wherever you're going to play, and if it's Indiana, following a legend which won a national championship, and maybe at best, going 10-2 next year, that's not going to be a story to remember. But coming back, it doesn't matter. I'm speaking of things that are never going to happen.
Right, but my point is, the reason I said that, Kyle, is that I just want to make sure that I wasn't overreacting when I saw that. I'm like, dude, you're not a pirate. I'm sorry. I mean,
no.
I wish that he had stayed. I thought that there was we knew there was a chance that he was probably going to leave, but I still had some hope that he would stay. And guess what? The good news is Johnny and I were talking. I think I even mentioned to Kyle off air, but it's like these guys. Guess what? There's more than one quarterback out there that can play the game of football. There's more than one running back. There's more than one wide receiver. There's more of now. When Logan was talking about defensive linemen, they don't go on trees. I think he once said back in the 90s. But speaking of which, guys, I haven't heard anything. Not to jinx it, but what about offensive line? I haven't heard anything, and I'm hoping that I won't hear anything.
I think McCrimmon would be the most likely, and Poku.
Mm-hmm.
I differ from other people. McCrimmon did get, he got all conference, but Poku's numbers. I mean, I just feel like he's a guard. McCrimmon's a tackle. Tackles are more valuable, obviously, but man, I like the way Poku started playing towards the end of the year, and I really hope we keep him, and I hope we keep McCrimmon too. But I heard that he's probably going to test the waters, but we'll see. We'll see about that.
And also, there's a lot of guys from the defense last year we've been talking about the last couple of shows. Apparently, there are guys that want to come back home. So my question to you is, Kyle and Johnny, what guys would you definitely say, all right, arms wide open, welcome back?
Hold on, Kyle. I just want to take this real quick because, you're talking about defensive coordinator and, maybe, Roy Tesh doing it or whatever. Zakai Barker would be a coach on the field. He'd be our green dot guy.
Yeah.
He'd be setting the back end of the defense.
I would take him back in heartbeat.
And that guy would be more valuable than any other person we lost by a long, long, long way.
What about Mims? I know he had a pretty good year at Carolina. Do you think we could get him back?
Who's that?
CJ, is it CJ Mims? Mims?
Oh, I don't know. Is Mims still have eligibility? The other one over there is the safety, GG. I'm Kyle. I'm like you. Sometimes I struggle with names, but I don't care about either one of those. CJ I would take. The other one, I don't care about. But Zakai Barker, he's at SMU right now. Yeah, he's got a year left. He's at SMU. He didn't start, and all the guys in front of him, unless they enter the portal, they're all coming back because there were no seniors that started in front of Zakai Barker. So maybe that'd be a great, great situation. Maybe he understands what he could do here and gives it a shot, and everybody would win in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, here's some. Josh is saying he's heard there's going to be O-line departures. Gibson, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. We have the best listeners and viewers. And
Gavin Gibson. I said GG. I just couldn't pull the Gavin part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about. I thought you said CC. I thought you were talking about CC DeVille.
There you go.
No.
Well, hey, Kyle, I don't know if you heard, but there's not going to be a Poison reunion for the 40th anniversary. So.
Oh wow, I didn't hear that. Why?
Because speaking of opting out, Brett Michaels, he's got some health issues, and he opted out of unfortunately, their 40th anniversary tour. So
he just did a solo show at the Outer Banks back in the summer.
Yeah, he sure did. And also there was supposed to be a European tour for the Rolling Stones. And speaking of another rock and roll opt out, Keith Richards opted out. He couldn't commit to the tour. So,
well, they're 172.
I know. It's one of those things, but there's plenty of people to see on tour if you love concerts, and we'll talk about that at a different day. But anyway.
Okay. Hey, I just want to throw this in there because I just went to one the other night, and it was a band that I really caught on the tail end of them. Like they were like fizzling out when I first heard of them. And so they showed up. There was originally 5 guys in the band, and there was only one. He was the lead singer, guy that wrote a lot of the songs. But so I went on Wiki and looked at what happened to the rest of the band members. Every one of them had died like at least 10 years ago. So, I mean, They were still good, but they're bands from that era, and I'm talking about like the 70s, 80s.
Atlanta Rhythm Section.
Yeah, Kyle, you nailed that one. You definitely nailed that one.
Yeah,
and they were good. Hey, at least you know what they did? They replaced the original members with people that live around Atlanta, Doraville, that area, and just a little bit younger, not much. There were some 50-year-olds in there, but they jammed. They were good. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I saw them, but yeah,
well,
that's what we're getting at.
Skinner. You got Johnny Van Zant, who's been the lead singer now longer than Ronnie Van Zant ever was.
Yep.
He's been the lead singer since '87, and he's Ronnie's little brother. And then you have Ricky Medlock, who was a member of Leonard Skinner before he founded Blackfoot.
Yeah.
So he people forget that. There's no original members. Well, Ricky Medlock was. He just wasn't a member at the time of the plane crash. And you know what I think a lot of people actually think? I think a lot of people mistakenly think the whole band or most of the band.
I agree with you, Kyle.
Crash.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Because they don't realize if you'd have seen Skinner in 90, in 97 or 2000, it was almost all original members.
Yeah.
I did see him during that time.
And then Artemis Pyle.
If you'd seen him in like 89, 90, 88, it was everybody an original member at some point because they had different variations of Skinner. So the first
Gary Rosington, Alan Collins, Artemis Pyle.
Yeah, so like 87 through like sometime in the early 90s, it was all original members except Johnny Van. All members who had played with Ronnie. I can't say all original members, all members who had played with Ronnie except for Johnny, and that was his little brother. And
Johnny hung out at the Hell House when they were like rehearsing and stuff. So he's almost, if anyone has to take the place of Ronnie, it should be Johnny.
Yeah,
who was pretty good. He was pretty good by himself, by the way.
And then the other brother Donnie was in 38 Special.
38 Special.
Yeah, absolutely. So now
the anniversary of that band. So
is he going to rejoin for their 50th anniversary tour?
Not sure about that. They do have new music coming out, and if you like 38 Special, I'll have to check in on that. But I do know they're having.
The other guy did lead on most of the songs you care about. Donnie did lead on Wild Out Southern Boys and a couple of other ones.
Don Barnes is the one you're thinking about.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
It's two Dons. There's a Donnie and a Don.
Yes.
Yep. Dang, Dave, I'm impressed with your knowledge on Southern rock.
I love Southern rock. Kenny? Are you talking about Leonard Skinner, the greatest Southern rock band ever, or 38 Special?
I assume Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. No, neither.
Who's your favorite?
Skinner. I mean, yeah, but
you go Allman Brothers?
I don't know that they're even Southern rock, but yeah, I mean that's debatable. I mean they're from Georgia.
Yep.
They're definitely Southern rock.
Yeah, they have some, I know what you're talking about.
But no,
completely the mold of what you're thinking.
I just went to
look at Marshall Tucker and Charlie Daniels. I mean,
that's my go-to, Kyle.
They lean more country, and they're considered Southern rock.
Well, they definitely, because Marshall Tucker's from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and I couldn't get enough of Marshall Tucker. I still listen to him. Yeah, and so I like them. Blackfoot was one of my go-tos.
I had an idea that I'll share right now because it won't happen anymore. But the early 2000s, I've told Kyle this story. Johnny, I haven't told you, but I really, really wanted what I call they have it in the mountains now, but Southern Rock Woodstock, where you have all the original bands like come and play at Dowdy Ficklin for a Saturday, and including some of the, maybe throw in the Ram Jams early on in the day, and some Georgia Satellites. They're not even together anymore, but maybe Dan Baird would sing. But I would love to have had that. But anyway,
I think Dan Baird's got some health issues. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you can still do it. You can still do it. I mean, you got Skinner still touring. You got Allman Brothers still touring. ZZ Top. How about the weirdest tour? I think it's a weird ass tour. You guys see who ZZ Top is co-headlining with for their tour coming up? This Dos Amigos tour. ZZ Top and Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight Yoakam, yeah, I did see it.
Yeah, I love Dwight Yoakam.
That's an odd combo, though. Very odd combo.
Should be in the. It'll work. It should be in the.
No, I think it'll work too. But I'm not a ZZ Top fan. There's a band that I've never really been able to get into. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
Oddly enough, they sang Lagrange, but
Yeah,
no, never
that's
been a big,
right.
never
Oh my
been big
goodness. I
into
grew up
ZZ
on.
Top. I love Dwight Yoakam though. I've seen Dwight Yoakam with Eric Church. He actually opened for Eric Church in Greensboro. Um, but wouldn't go see Eric Church again, by the way, because he's a target for Tom.
Kenny Curlings with throwing down the Molly Hatchet.
Molly Hatchet. Well, let's don't forget about the
Oh
Ozark
my
Mountain
Hey,
goodness.
Daredevils.
hey,
Whiskey
Johnny.
Man, Gator Country. What?
Yeah, Johnny. With all the opt outs, are we flirting with disaster?
Yeah, that is true. No, Kenny, that's a great call. I love Danny Joe Brown. And then he had a Danny Joe Brown band. Hey, but the Allman Brothers, I was just going to say, I recently saw the what they call the tribute tour to the Allman Brothers, and it was. I mean, I got salty a little bit teary eyed because it was Devin Allman. It
Oh
was
yeah,
and he was with
you got a
Derek
son.
Trucks and what's Dickie Betts' son's name? Anyhow,
That's his son. Yeah.
and they had a rotating, like every few songs they would rotate musicians that they played with, and every one of them was an all-star. And it was just, you would think you were listening to the Allman Brothers because they didn't try to make it their own. They played it just like, they would have. And it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I've been wanting to see them because Devin Ullman is. I see him on like Facebook and they're jamming and talking and stuff, and I was like, man, I wish they would come around here because I only saw the Almonds one time, and it was in Virginia Beach.
All right, so we're booking your Southern Rock Woodstock now. You can do. You got Leonard Skinner. You got the Allman Brothers Tribute Band.
Okay.
You got
Molly
ZZ,
Hatchet,
you got
Marshall
ZZ
Tucker.
Top. Now these are our headliners. We got ZZ
Oh, okay.
Top. They're all bands we can have as headliners, and one more headliner.
Well, the Outlaws, I think there's not enough of them. Billy, no, they're all. I guess maybe Henry Paul.
One of them.
Henry Paul.
Yeah,
One
he's with Black.
person
He's busy with Blackhawk. But and has been for since
Yeah.
the '90s.
But I mean, he
All
could.
right, so you got to have one new Southern rock band as one of your headliners, and we're gonna put Whiskey Myers as one of the headliners.
Oh man, they are
Okay.
great.
All right, I'm with you.
I can. That would be great.
And then we'll do the undercard, if you will, the opening acts. You got Molly Hatchet still touring,
Marshall Tucker.
Marshall Tucker still touring, and we're going to do another. We're going to do another. This is near headliner, but another young band. And we're going to do Blackberry Smoke.
They're
Oh
good.
yeah.
What
And
about?
there you go. And there's the
what about
lineup. That's
Nantucket?
it.
Hey, I actually saw Marshall Tucker at the
Nantucket can play in
Watermelon
the parking
Festival
lot.
in Winterville. I saw them in Winterville.
How are they?
They were good.
You got one original member left, the
I
lead
know.
singer, and that's it.
I
But it's the
know.
lead singer, so yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
But there you go. There's the lineup. Get your
I like
tickets.
that
We'll let you know
lineup.
when tickets. We'll let you know when tickets are going on sale.
Brought to you by TSO.
Wow. But
There you go, Dave.
Blackberry Smoke is going to be in Roanoke Rapids.
They are very good.
Are you kidding?
No, they're
At
gonna
Crossroads?
No, they're going to be at the Weldon Mills Theater, the theater there. So,
Okay.
Not too far from you, JR.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very
isn't
nice
that Carolina Crossroads?
Yeah.
Well, the Carolina Crossroads is the amphitheater. Weldon
Amphitheater,
Mills
you're talking about
is the.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I got you.
So
Seats
yeah, they're
about
going to be
1,300
there.
people.
Yeah, it's an intimate setting, but very nice. I've seen Clint Black there. I've seen Neil McCoy there. I've seen Diamond Rio there. Joe Diffie right before he died. Sawyer Brown. That was one of the most underrated concerts I've ever been to. Was Sawyer Brown.
They are really good. I like them.
They were great live.
Never seen them.
They were fantastic live. Like one of those shows that I wanted. Like Mark King actually gave me those tickets. Good Pirate. He gave me front row tickets for that. And
Wow.
I liked Sawyer Brown. He couldn't go. I liked Sawyer Brown. Was a fan of him in the '90s. And so yeah, hell yeah, I wanted to go. And but my expectations for the concert were just like it's going to be a good show. No, it was phenomenal.
They Johnny, I go all the way back at the young Kyle Barber. I go back
to
the
'80s Star Search.
Star Search. They were the first band to win Star Search.
Yep,
and
they sure
were really good back then. And I'm glad to know that they rocked because they were really, really good.
Yeah, and they mostly played their '90s stuff. They did hit a couple of their '80s songs like "Betty's Out Being Bad," and kind of the one that bridges the gap from their '80s sound to their '90s sound. "The Race Is On," the George Jones remake.
Pays interviewed Alan Walden one time when in Macon, home of Capricorn Records, and he
Nice.
managed Otis Redding and the Almonds. There you go, Pays. Nice stuff. So anyway, what do you guys have? I know that we're going to have our show on Sunday.
By the way, JR, another concert announcement for you. Henry Paul, the Outlaws, Henry Paul and Black Hawk, and are going to be with Little Texas down in Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Not to be confused with Elizabeth City. Another concert announcement for you. All these concert plugs free, just for free. We're just playing concerts for free.
Yeah, we're not getting anything.
I might get tickets for that one. I got a quick story. Go ahead. I've tried to see Black Hawk 3 different times, and each time it's been a failure. One time was good. They were going to play a festival, and I ended up getting invited to Myrtle Beach instead. So we went to that. The other time, actually 4 times. The other time, I got tickets for them, and it was in Asheville. It was in Still Woods, back-to-back nights, and that was around the time I started getting sick. I hadn't got diagnosed yet, but I knew I was sick, and we didn't make the trip to Asheville. And then, so oddly enough, they came to Goldsboro. They were coming to Goldsboro, of all places. I got tickets for them, and it was the weekend before I was supposed to have my colon cancer surgery. So I didn't go because COVID was still going around in 22, and I didn't want anything to delay the surgery. And then they played Roanoke Rapids this past winter, and I was going to wait until the day of the show to get tickets. This is a true story. I was going to wait the day of the show to get tickets because every time I've gotten tickets, something screwed it up. And does anybody remember what happened that night this past winter? Huge snowstorm came. I'm scared to buy tickets to go see them this time.
Well, you don't have to buy a ticket if you want to come see us the night before the bowl game. We're going to be at Fisherman's End, and Jody invite us back. I guess that will be great. Jody Schultz. So we appreciate.
So we know JR Dave's going to be there. I may or may not be there. Do we know if Matt's going to be there?
Matt is still talking to me. I know that there's a chance if he got it there early that he would come be with us for a little while. And then he's going to go on the bar crawl and do some live reports for us. But we got to make sure that we're going to have to see if basically when he gets in.
Well, was he serious about that? I thought that was a joke. He's really going to do the bar crawl?
Yeah, I think he's being serious, yes.
Yeah, he's serious about that and do like.
Well, then he can't do the show. He can't do both, really.
Yeah, there's time to do both.
He's got time. He's going to, in other words, he's not trying to be back and forth. He's going to be like doing like
start off with the show, cut it, to be there for an hour, then hit the bar crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the if we're 100% this is locked in that it's being done, some form of us, whether it's 2 or 3 or 4 of us, we need to start promoting that better on our social media to try to get a crowd there. Might not have the turnout we had last year, but we filled that room up last year. But it'll be what it'll be, and at this point I'm going to make my decision by Sunday. At least on the hotel, we may still end up day tripping it. Which wouldn't help you out, Dave, with the show, but we're at least going to make the decision whether we'll.
Actually, you could still do the show. You would just be like this, right?
Like what?
In other words, you would be doing it virtually, like we're doing now, and not.
Oh yeah, yes. But I'll do it virtually. Yes, I just can't. I just if I'm not there live,
Kyle from LaGrange fans, he's not opting out of the show. It's a matter of whether he will do it live in person or on the computer like we have virtually. So I just want to make that clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Pirates don't opt out of anything.
That's right.
Real Pirates. That's right.
Real Pirates.
Right. All right, guys.
I might opt out of the bowl. I know I'll still be watching it, at least on TV.
That's right. All right. So we've been going quite a while. Do you guys have anything before we get out of here? We've got our show on Sunday. We're going to be doing a bowl preview and get stuff. Justin's going to be there.
Yeah, JR, have you watched Ernest Saves Christmas yet?
You know what? After Matt sent the text with the, it was headlining the worst Christmas movies of all time.
31. It was number 31.
31. All right. I still have time, Kyle. I still have time.
You got a couple days.
By the way, let me tell you something. Of all the shitty Christmas movies that have ever been made by Hallmark and Lifetime, and all the crappy animated movies that have ever been made, not the classics, if anybody thinks Ernest Saves Christmas is in anybody's top 50 worst Christmas movies, they're complete and utter morons. You might not like the movie, but if you think it's one of the worst Christmas movies, bull crap. I think you're full of crap, and I think you know you're full of crap. Just go turn on any Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be too judgmental on Ernest Saves Christmas because I'm sure I'm going to laugh, and that's what I'm looking. That's all I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to, for a thick plot or anything like that.
No,
I just want a few chuckles.
It's a sweet movie. It does have a plot. It is nonstop action, and it's funny. I mean, I watch it through the eyes of nostalgia, but look, not everything holds up, and it does to me. I still laugh at it every year.
All right. I will be ready to discuss that movie come Sunday.
All right.
And I want to, if we have to be miserable, no, I'm kidding. I actually like Jim Varney, so Kyle knows that I'm a big Ernest fan. So I do remember it. I don't remember it being bad, but I haven't seen it in many, many years. So I'll definitely make that happen. And the listeners and viewers, you have a few days because hopefully you can watch it and give us a thumbs up, thumbs down.
I can quote lines from the movie. I mean, I've seen it so many times. I can
does Jessica like it?
Yes, oddly enough, that is both movies that is a movie we both grew up watching.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that part.
We both grew up watching that movie, and so it was one of those. She had oddly enough never seen A Christmas Story or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation until she met me. You know, I've been dating her. I started dating her when she was in 11th grade.
Well, you still dating her.
I wasn't in 11th grade, but she was. She had never seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation or A Christmas Story. And we, first met way back in the in the year 2000. In the year 2000, but she had watched Ernest Saves Christmas every year, so it's funny that we both watched that growing up. I think.
Hey Kyle, maybe you could watch Trading Places before Sunday
with Lindsay Lohan. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, you might.
You're thinking about Freaky Friday, is what you're thinking of.
Yeah. This is Eddie Murphy, and
that's totally different, bro.
Eddie Murphy and Lindsay Lohan. That sounds like an interesting movie.
Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Lindsay Lohan.
No, Dan Aykroyd. Now you've got me. Now Dan Aykroyd and
Dan Aykroyd and Lindsay Lohan and Eddie Murphy made a movie together.
Did Jim Varney?
Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan did Freaky Friday.
Yeah, she did.
So
I remember Jim Varney. My first exposure to him was the local Toyota dealership. He did like ads for them. You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, Vern.
And I guess he did that like nationwide for different companies or whatever. But yeah, I didn't even. That's how I knew who he was to begin with.
Line State.
Yeah, he just did the quote from that movie. You know what I like about high school girls? That sounded like Bill Clinton. But what movie did you just talk about, JR?
No, I said Trading Places. I'll watch Ernest if you watch Trading Places.
That's a fair. I think Kyle's getting the better end of the deal because Trading Places is a classic.
All right, I watched Trading Places, but
just at least check out the first 20 minutes, and I think after that you'll stick with it.
You guys realize that if it wasn't for Ernest saving Christmas in 1988, we wouldn't have Christmas now.
That's right. Christmas will be gone.
Now, I mean, have you thought about that? I mean, he saved Christmas in '88, and if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have Christmas now.
So, Ernest, we should actually have a holiday off for Jim Varney because he saved Christmas. Ernest,
yes.
I agree, Dave. Right.
We'll get out of here, guys. Been a great time with y'all as always. I appreciate. Sorry about early on in the technical difficulties for our friends, but
that was brutal.
Sorry about that, but we got it fixed. That's nothing like a live show.
God bless Ernest.
Yeah. There you go. Got an extra holiday, Drew.
God bless Ernest.
We'll get out of here and we'll find out more about that. How many people? We'll take a poll. How many people love that movie, and how many people don't?
And how many
And
people have never seen it?
a lot, I'm sure.
It's dude. I'm telling you, Dave. Actually, I'm a little surprised at you and your attitude towards
No,
Ernest
it's not
Takes
an
Christmas.
attitude. I told you I like it. I'm just simply saying. I wonder how many people. I grew up on Ernest. I like him. In fact, one of the first movies I saw I told you that the Galaxy is Ernest Goes to Camp, and I love that. And what was it? Ernest Scared Stupid?
Yeah, Ernest
Oh,
Ernest Goes to Camp is the second best Ernest movie.
yeah, right. I like that, but yeah, I don't have anything against Ernest at all. I'm just saying. I'm wondering. My question is, how many people will have the same taste as you and I on that? I do like him and like that movie, so I'm not anti the movie. Surprise, like you think I am. I'm just simply saying. I'm wondering how many people share the same appreciation for Ernest.
Just remember, Dave, they never get old. They always stay new. Those
All right,
three little words, please and thank you.
there you go.
Once you watch that movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yep. It's been a while, but I'll watch it again. All right, we'll get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget about our Sunday show. We're going to be doing, that was a nice tease that Kyle's been doing for a holiday special, one of my favorite episodes. And we get Johnny this year and Stevie. We'll do it at 8 o'clock. Drew's asking what time, around 8 o'clock on Sunday night.
8 o'clock, me, JR, Stevie, Dave, Matt. We're going to find out who's got the biggest Yule log.
We'll find out. All right, we'll get out of here, guys. Have a great night, everybody. And as always, go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.